Innovate. Enable.
It's been said that advertising agencies aren't changing, they are being changed. And honoring those who take this change to the next level is the Yahoo Big Idea Chair Awards. The 2012 edition of the awards kicked off with a discussion on the share shift in digital, the move from presence to excellence. And sharing their ideas and perspectives on digital marketing drivers, trends and the way forward were some of the sharpest and innovative minds in the industry. C.R. Malika Arjuna Das, Chief Executive Officer, Starcom Media West Group. Valerie Rozicki Wagner, Founder and CEO, Zipdial. C. Abhiroop, Head of Media Services for Unilever South Asia. And Nitin Mathur, Senior Director and Head of Marketing, India and Southeast Asia, Yahoo.
Welcome to our panel discussion. It's called The Shift in Digital from Presence to Excellence. So let's discuss from presence to excellence. And let's start with a story that when Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay were asked, Edmund Hillary specifically was asked, why did you climb Mount Everest? What on earth prompted you to climb the world's highest mountain? So many people have died. His answer was very, very simple. He said, because it is there. So my first question for C. Abhiroop, are you merely on the net because it is there?
This is one of the mediums that is changing fast. As an organization, I think we right now are trying to take rapid steps to try to understand it better. And as a result, not just me, but I think the rest of the marketing community also spends sufficient time there, I would say. Yeah. And I think the last couple of years have been a learning experience, to be honest. And we're quite bullish about this space currently. So there's no reason why we should not be there. Our consumers are there, so we have to be there.
So Nitin Mathur, I'm going to turn that question around for you. Why should anybody be on net? Brands specifically.
Obviously, consumers are spending a lot of time on the internet, right? That is something which has been said, read, researched. Time spent on the internet has gone up by almost 4 to 5 times in the last probably 3 to 4 years, right? Like any other medium, we believe that this is definitely with like almost 100 million users on the net. If you are not there, I mean, the question is, what do you lose if you're not there? Okay. I think what you lose when you're not there is you lose a tremendous opportunity to engage with the right audience in terms of metrics which really matter to you. It's not necessarily about presence today. Everybody understands that they have to be present there.
Okay, that's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. Okay. What people are dabbling with is to say, what's the right way to be present? What is the right way to engage? What's the right way to be there from a sustainability kind of perspective, not just when you're launching a product, when you have a car launch, when you have a new kind of a shampoo launch, but how do you sustain in a sustainable way engage with audience?
Various metrics show us that time spent on the net outstrips time spent on print and radio. Yeah. It's just second to television. Those metrics also show us that money spent on the net is the lowest of the 4.
That's right.
Why this correlation? If so many people are spending so much time on the net, and everybody understands the need to be there, why this mismatch between investing in the net and consumption of the net?
Yeah, so I think there will be 2 to 3 points out there. One, I think, is that the first thing will be inertia. Amongst one set of advertisers, at least, which I would say to an extent the FMCG sector is probably not investing as much as it should be. I mean, Unilever may be doing that, but I don't know to what extent they should be doing more than what they're currently doing. So one is definitely inertia.
Let me stop you there. Are they spending enough in print and television, or they're not spending? You would like them to spend?
Yeah, so I would think that they're doing adequate. I mean, that's a bigger question as to whether advertising itself the spending on advertising itself is adequate as a proportion of GDP, but that's a more important.
I'm talking about the entire marketing spend, not just the pure advertising spend.
Maybe it should be more than what it currently is, definitely. But having said that, if I look at even within the media mix, digital should be more. One is, I think, inertia, because certain sectors, including FMCG, the uptake is not as fast as it should be. The second thing, I think, what is also hampering it to an extent is a more practical one, because I think today digital structures within both marketing as well as media organizations live in silos. So to an extent, money has to flow in from other media into digital, because time spent on digital is to an extent growing at the expense of other media. And I think the third thing is the ability to upsell. Let's look at TV, for instance. Let's say that it's roughly a 15,000 crore market. Maybe around 8,000 crores of that is based on rational decision making. And when I say rational decision making, I would mean that people do the numbers, look at the second order decimal points, and then decide that this is the CPRP I want, and that's how I go and invest money. But let's say I want to put money on an IPL, or I want to put money on a Big Boss, or I want to put money on KBC. Those decisions are beyond the numbers, let's face it. I think we people use a bit of numbers, a bit of our expertise as media professionals, and we take our risks. Now, I don't think, so that's what we sometimes as, media professionals call as impact, and, marketers set aside budgets for such things. Now, I don't know how much of that actually happens on the net, because I think somewhere on the net, I think, the whole thing about risk-taking behavior and going for big impact is still really, I don't think as much as it is there in other media, which is also, hampering things.
There's 4 words that can destroy you in the stock market, and it's been said that any investor who utters these 4 words is certain to be doomed. It's 4 very simple words. It says, this time it's different, right? So when print was launched, everybody said the art of calligraphy is going to die, so print is a bad thing. When television was launched, everybody said nobody is going to read books and it's going to fry our brains. When mobiles were launched, they said this is it, it's actually going to fry our brains now, right? When the internet came, everybody said this is pornography, people are going to waste time, reading habits are going to go down. However, with the advent of internet and television, reading has gone up, calligraphic skills are well and alive all over the country, manual labor is up, more paper is being used as we consume more technology. So some of these correlations that you might think are true are simply not true. So my question is this, so .com 3.5.0, any different from the previous .coms that we've seen?
Absolutely, and I think the key is how integrated the web is into our lives. And even when we talk about share and spend on digital versus traditional media, the more important question is how are we bridging those two? It's not just about put your message in different channels, but about how can you leverage the internet or the mobile, which are essentially seamless these days, to drive real life outcomes. Maybe it starts in your traditional media, there's an electronic engagement component to it, and then it drives to a real life
devil's
outcome.
advocate, it's just another medium. Digital is another medium. If you can be innovative in print and innovative in television, what stops you from being innovative in digital? It should be the same thing, no?
Oh, and digital is the most innovative. And it's also how you apply digital to traditional media that can be innovative.
Large companies like Unilever, the inability to integrate traditional and non-traditional marketing methods. For instance, your traditional marketing machine, which of course you are the expert on, and the digital marketing domain, which you're not yet the expert on, and you will be one day, and these operate in separate silos. Does it work like that in Unilever? Is that a fair criticism?
I heard you say that digital is the 4th medium for FMCG and all of that. So let me just put some facts on the table. As of 2012, our spends on digital is way more than radio. In fact, it's 4 times our spends on radio. Our spends on digital is right now a very close second to print. And while I have friends in the print industry as well, I think it's suffice to say that by next year we expect digital to become a 2nd largest medium. The other big difference when you're comparing it to the developed world, as I heard you say also, is that TV is still a very cost-effective medium in India. Yeah, the ARPUs on TV are way lower than the developed world. So you are fighting a battle there, and we must recognize that. And TV does a job, and TV penetration in India is still at about 61-65%, take a guess. And it's going to grow every year. So TV is not going to go away. And I really think that the question we should not be asking ourselves is either or. I think it's a question of and. I think all these mediums will survive. And the print industry in India specifically, if you ask me, has a very different future from the way it's panned out in the West.
The Yahoo Big Idea Chair Awards 2012 began with a discussion on the share shift in digital marketing, and answering the pertinent questions on everyone's mind was a panel featuring some of the finest minds in the industry.
60% of India is under 30, 80% of those are under 21, and 80% of those I think are under 18. And most companies don't have anybody under 25 on their board certainly, and most organizations have nobody under 21, and yet here they are trying to sell to them. Is there a fundamental folly in what I'm saying?
I think more than just the younger group, right? I think it's important to have young people in the team who understand and who live with your TG. If you are targeting a younger TG, I think what's important is also, do you have the mechanism to understand and read the signals in the market, especially when youth market is concerned. There are various ways to be able to do that, right? For us, when we say it's 100% measurable for the advertisers, it's probably 200% measurable for ourselves. When we look at consumption of content on our own sites and who's doing what kind of people are coming, what kind of content are they consuming, our focus has been to make sure that our content gets younger and younger from our own attraction perspective. So while, we don't, it's a great question to have whether you have the right talent mix or not, but I think we're very well equipped in terms of understanding the signals and, being able to decipher who's coming in and what they want.
So an old dog can be taught new tricks. How difficult is it in your organization to teach old dogs new tricks?
It is not too difficult.
Not too difficult?
It is not too difficult. I mean, I think it's more about the kind of effort. So it has to come two ways actually. One is that the organization has to put in the efforts to obviously teach these people the new tricks, but it has to be also reciprocated from the other side. I think that's how it's going to work. I mean, ultimately, I think in the next 2 to 3 years there is going to be a shakeout. Those who want to obviously scale up and know that this is the future will upgrade themselves also. Then the organization would obviously once both these hands meet, and that's how the upgradation will happen.
It's going to become a mandatory skill to have on.
It is going to be mandatory, and those who don't do it will be out in 3 years.
There's the myth that the internet moves really fast. So Nitin, unfortunately, I'm going to name some of your competitors: Facebook, Twitter, Foursquare, Google, Pinterest, Path, Quora, Instagram, and I don't know how many else there are. The internet changes really fast. It's very hard to keep pace with it. Last year in India, 50 new magazines launched. 25 new TV channels launched last year. If you can keep up with 50 magazines and 25 new channels, and this happens every year, by the way, there are 25 more channels pending licenses with the IMD ministry today, and at least 50 more magazines. Is it a myth that the internet moves too fast and it's hard to keep up with it, Mali? If you can keep up with traditional media, why should it be so hard for anybody?
No, it does move fast. I mean, of course, there have been more new channels and magazines which have been launched. But I think if you look at the overall universe of change which is happening on the internet versus what's happening on the traditional...
You're saying it's the nature of the change that's hard
the nature, no, I would agree that the change is fast, and of course it's not a myth. I mean, it's really not a myth. It's definitely, it's got,
things fast. My question is, it's not faster than anything else.
No, I think it is faster. It definitely is faster, yeah.
I think there are, the way I would put it is, one at a macro level, right? We are still grossly underpenetrated media market, right? So even if television reaches 60-65%, you will continue to see more of that coming up through regional channels and niche channels and so on and so forth. On the internet, what I would say is that while some of the larger basic intents remain the same about information, content consumption, entertainment, communication, searching, so on and so forth, there are various ways in which people are trying to make things easy for their audiences. So they're kind of redefining how you used to connect earlier and now how you connect today, how you're consuming content today.
But my question, Nitin, is evolutionary or revolutionary?
Well, I think
is it just an evolving model that's working? That's not difficult to keep up with.
Yeah, on the internet, I think it's a bit of both. So it is evolutionary because there are suddenly newer things which are happening. I mean, Zipdial is a great example of how people have started communicating with the medium. But at the same time, a lot of redefinition also keeps happening on the larger intents, which are probably being the same.
Nitin, Mali, Valerie, and Abhirup, thank you very much for being part of this discussion.
And then it was time to honor the creme de la creme, those ideas that stood out amongst the rest, the most innovative and creative digital campaigns of the year. Yahoo received a whopping 376 entries from 73 agencies for 128 brands. 19 winners were chosen across 8 categories, and 8 agencies took the top honors in each category.
Dive straight into it with the first category of awards. It's in the best use of display advertising. This award recognizes the creative and innovative use of display advertising. The best use of display advertising silver goes to Royal Stag IPL Innovation from Maxis. Our next category of awards is for Best Online Video Advertising. This category includes the exciting new world of videos, pre-rolls, innovation on video for the digital world. And now we have the Best Online Video Advertising Gold. Well, it goes to You want it? You take it. Ogilvy for Did Film for Craft India Cadbury's. The next category of awards is for best use of social media. This category, to be honest, had a lot of entries, but the jury looked at the idea, innovation, execution, brand objectives, and overall strategy. The best use of social media gold goes to In the Ocean for Hyundai Motors. Catch the buzz, live reporting of Auto Expo. Well, this is a category that's hopefully sitting silent in your pockets right now. Let's reward campaigns that combine creativity, utilizing the mobile medium optimally, and create impact. The best use of mobile advertising, silver, goes to Maxis again for the Platinum Guild Personalized Jewelry Showroom. And now, the next category will honor creativity, which has adopted technology in making digital advertising meet brand objectives. Best use of technology, gold goes to Maxis again for Titan. The next category is the best use of search. The best use of search, silver, goes to Interactive Avenues for Book My Trip. The next category of awards is for Digital 360 Degrees. This award recognizes campaigns that strategically use digital as the core medium. The 360-degree gold goes to Mahindra Spark the Rise by Interactive Avenues. And now, ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your breaths, as we shall now announce the most awaited award of the night. It's the big one, the flagship award that recognizes impactful digital advertising campaigns which marry a great idea with impact, creativity, and relevance to the marketing objectives. The Yahoo Big Idea Chair Award 2012. Well, everyone say Yahoo because the winner is Ogilvy! Can I have all our winners here tonight join us on stage for the perfect picture?
We are delighted to win the Big Idea Chair. This is testament to the fact that we are as an agency equipping ourselves and trying to move along with clients to do something really interesting and innovative in this space. There's no denying the fact that digital is the thing of the future, definitely for certain categories in certain areas.
This year's Yahoo Big Idea Chair Awards saw some of the best minds come together on one platform to ideate. The Yahoo Big Idea Chair Awards 2012 also saw the most innovative digital campaigns of the year lauded for their efforts. The Yahoo Big Idea Chair Awards, an initiative to promote achievement and excellence in the field of digital marketing.